In the training classroom, every girl was cream of the crop. They have fought a long way to earn today's opportunity.
First of all, when I came here, I felt that this company, wow, this is so huge. When I saw all the girls who were interviewing at the same time with me, I asked them where they worked before, and most of them had experience working for airlines.
For this interview, Diana took a 2-hour flight from Bali to Jakarta.
They may have been flight attendants only for 1 or 2 years, but I have been working in the service industry for 7 years, and I was very confident during the interview.
More than 8,000 girls participated in the interview, but only 12 were finally hired.
After returning to hotel and showering, suddenly I received a call congratulating me on being hired. Oh my God, the trip was totally worth it.
Diana is so excited because the position she was competing for is unprecedented in Indonesia. The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway, or PT-KCIC, jointly built by China and Indonesia, is about to be launched. The position that everyone is fiercely competing for is high-speed railway attendant, known as High Sister in China.
I'm very excited because working here means I can experience Indonesia's first high-speed railway.
The high-speed railway jointly built by China and Indonesia is also the first high-speed railway in the Asian region.
Not only me, but everyone is looking forward to development of high-tech in Indonesia.
The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway is a high-speed railway connecting Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia, and Bandung, the 4th largest city in Indonesia. It has a track length of 142 kilometers in total, with a design speed of 350 kilometers per hour. As the first batch of high-speed railway attendants in Indonesia, they received training based on China's high-speed railway passenger service standards. Engaged in this profession, they attract attention from all sides.
Many people excitedly ask me when the high-speed railway will be launched. My whole family really looks forward to experiencing it.
My mother is very much looking forward to the launch of the high-speed railway. And she also very proud that I can become a high-speed railway attendant.
Back in 2015, the preparations for the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway had begun. Hanggoro Budi Wiriawan was one of the people in charge from the Indonesian side at the beginning of the project. At that time, Indonesian people had completely different views on the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway than they do now.
People thought that the high-speed railway project was led by the government and used government funds. Many people disagreed. We explained to the public bit by bit, and people started to understand that this government project is financed by joint ventures and would not be a burden to the country.
As the first president-director of PT-KCIC, Hanggoro Budi Wiriawan knows that although public doubts have been gradually dispelled, raising the funds required for the construction of the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway is still the most critical top priority.
This process took a lot of time. We have been raising funds for nearly 2 years. We did a lot of preparation work from 2016 to 2017.
In May 2017, PT-KCIC and China's China Development Bank signed a loan agreement. Hanggoro Budi Wiriawan's memory of that moment is still fresh.
This project is financed on a business-to-business basis and was witnessed by Indonesian President Joko Widodo and Chinese President Xi Jinping. This has created a new milestone for the Indonesian and Chinese railway circles.
Although he has retired, Hanggoro Budi Wiriawan, who is now 67 years old, remains at his post as a rehired expert. The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway project is the last stop of his career.
I have to complete the high-speed railway project from beginning to end, and now it is almost completed. The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway will be in operation in a few months. As an Indonesian, I'm very proud to represent the country in such a significant project.
Jiang Chao is the only founding director of PT-KCIC in office. He has worked with Hanggoro Budi Wirawan for nearly 10 years. The old partners have become old friends who talk about everything.
Hanggoro Budi Wirawan's name, when translated into Chinese pronunciation, is Han Gaolu. I always told him that his name is very magical. Gaolu in Chinese means highway, and his last name, Wirawan, Yawan, is Jakarta and Bandung. His name says he is destined to contribute his effort to this railway.
I didn't expect that my name, when translated into Chinese, spells out my fate with the high-speed railway. It is all God's will.
The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway project has the right time, place, and people. Every engineering project is a process of building little by little from scratch. The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway construction includes 4 high-speed railway stations, erecting bridges with a length of about 83 kilometers and opening 13 tunnels with a length of about 16 kilometers, coping with a variety of adverse geological conditions.
The launch of the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway is a very good docking project for our Belt and Road Initiative and Indonesia's global maritime fulcrum strategy. The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway will be launched smoothly, with high quality and high standards, fulfilling our expectation of delivering a satisfactory answer to the Indonesian people.
The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway is the first order where China's high-speed railway has gone abroad with its whole system, all elements, and entire industrial chain. It has set a new example for cooperation in infrastructure and production capacity between China and Indonesia.
Along the way, we continue to identify and solve problems. At the same time, it also truly embodies our concept of discussing, building, and sharing together.
We can see that the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway, which uses Chinese technology, has been appreciated by various countries and communities. We have proven to the public that China's high-speed railway technology is excellent.
The first batch of high-speed railway attendants on the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway is undergoing on-site training.
Turns out, the place where I work is so good. I feel that working in here is so cool.
I think the high-speed railway is very good. The train is very fast and the interior design is very luxurious, like an airplane.
Well, it's a new and more modern mode of transportation, which will support the rapid development of transportation in Indonesia.
The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway is undergoing a final testing. The high-speed railways adopt the mature technology of the Fuxing series with Chinese standard CR and are customized to adapt to the local operating environment and route conditions in Indonesia.
We have proven to the Indonesian people and the world that through the good cooperation between the Indonesian government and the Chinese government, we can complete this high-speed railway on time.
Bandung, connected by the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway, is the capital of West Java Province in Indonesia. The name of the city Bandung is familiar to many Chinese. In 1955, the world-famous Asian-African Conference was held here. For the first time, 29 Asian and African countries discussed the vital interests of their people without the participation of colonial powers.
I very much support and fully agree with the consensus reached at the Asian-African Conference because this will truly contribute to the prosperity and stability of all countries. And there will be no more wars. This is the aspiration of all peoples in Asia and Africa.
The Asian-African Conference is also called the Bandung Conference because it was held in Bandung. This conference has a profound impact on China. Premier and Foreign Minister Zhou Enlai personally led the Chinese delegation to attend the Bandung Conference, which was an important event in the process of New China stepping on the international political stage.
The Chinese premier proposed the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence based on the spirit of the Asian-African Conference, including mutual respect, equality, mutual benefit, and mutual cooperation. We must keep these spirits alive.
More than 60 years of practice have proven that the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence proposed by Premier Zhou Enlai at the Bandung Conference remains a cornerstone of China's foreign policy and is generally recognized by the international community. China has always firmly believed that more and more countries will join hands with China on this righteous path that is in line with the trend of history and the direction of human development.
The Belt and Road Initiative proposed by the Chinese government is in line with the spirit of the Asian-African Conference. The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway is one of the projects originating from the Belt and Road Initiative. This has become a model for Asian, African, and global countries. Indonesia can share its experience with other Asian and African countries, and they can learn from Indonesia.
China and Indonesia work together to build the Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway, and it is a benchmark project with high mutual trust and in-depth pragmatic cooperation between the two parties. It will surely become a golden business card of China's high-speed railway.
The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway has enlightened China on how to implement high-speed railway projects outside China. This is also a very rare opportunity. The experience gained in Indonesia can serve as a model for similar projects in other countries.
The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway is the pinnacle of Hanggoro Budi Wiryawan's career and the most satisfactory completion of his career.
What I started as a dream has now come true. Construction has been completed and it will soon be operational. Everyone cares much about this high-speed railway. It is not only an accomplishment of PTKCAC, but also an achievement of the close cooperation between Indonesia and China.
The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway is the mutual dream of the people of China and Indonesia. From Jakarta to Bandung, the bond of friendship has linked the deep affections between the two countries in a new era. With the assistance of the scholarship system for international students of Guangxi Arts University, a group of Indonesian students has regarded China as their second home far away from homeland. Corey, who was born in Jakarta, came to China to study at the age of 17 and became an architect. She did not choose to devote herself to urban construction, but instead walked into the vast countryside of China.
I don't like big cities very much. They're excessively designed, so I travel to Yunnan, Guilin, and various places. In fact, I prefer to see rural places like this.
Currently, Corey is still continuing her studies. She is a postgraduate student at Guangxi Arts University. While studying with her supervisor, Professor Lin Hai, she has participated in practical work related to China's rural revitalization, including the Guangxi Rural Landscape Renovation Project to improve their rural living environment.
The entire ecological civilization is a concept of sustainable development. We want to be both highbrow and lowbrow.
Corey often follows Lin Hai to many villages in Guangxi. The construction of beautiful villages is a completely new field for her.
We must pay attention to the integration of this architectural design.
How to improve the appearance and soul of the countryside. Lin Hai hopes that she will have more viewpoints and thoughts from the perspective of an architect.
We need to feel another kind of aesthetics besides nostalgia. How to use art to empower industry revitalization. She is also very interested in it. We have done a lot of aesthetic exploration of the space design between the village and industry and the residential houses themselves.
The transformation of the rural appearance requires thinking on the basis of what was originally there. And the beautification of the village's appearance also needs to come up with customized plans in accordance with local conditions.
The structure of this house has been completed, but it has no design at all. Maybe the builders didn't realize that they made it into a box, like a matchbox house. So we are transforming it and giving it a new look using its original rural materials and proportions.
This is Sanchiopo, Tiantang Village, located in Nanning, Guangxi. Like many villages, every household lives in a self-built house.
Before we came to renovate this village, some of these old houses were combined with the new 4-story brick concrete structure houses, but they look ill-coordinated overall. Our first task was to use the same materials and colors for the facade. Then on the slope of the roof, we also combine it with gable roof.
Tiantang Village now is idyllically rustic and full of vitality for rural development. Corey met many ordinary villagers during her time in this village, and she gained a deeper understanding about the transformation of China's rural appearance.
In the past, only elderly people lived in the village. After the renovation of the living environment, we all like to come back. We have started businesses and even set up breeding farms. After all, this is our hometown.
Yes, home sweet home.
Yeah.
She worked in Tiantang Village for more than half a year. Everyone in the village never treated Corey like an outsider.
Even though I don't quite understand them in the language they speak, and maybe they don't quite understand me, but there's no distance at all. They will share any good things with us. They are not like strangers at all. They are friendly and I feel so safe.
At first, I didn't know that Corey is from Indonesia. She looks just like us, so I couldn't tell. Corey has put in a lot of efforts and hard work for this village.
From targeted poverty alleviation to rural revitalization, China's rural areas have become a vast land of hope. After completing the transformation of Tiantang Village, Corey realized the significance of rural revitalization.
I feel that Chinese peasants are really happy. And it makes us feel that this country has everyone's development in mind.
Corey has a studio in Nanning. Relying on her accumulated experience in transforming rural appearance and seizing the opportunity of the integrated development of agriculture and cultural tourism industries in China, she plans to design a bed and breakfast for the villagers with her friends to describe the beauty of the countryside.
China has actually given me a good opportunity for development. I may still focus on rural areas in the future. What are you doing, Mom? I'm making a model and we'll build a bed and breakfast. It will be built like this in the future, just like this drawing. So, does it look good? Am I great, Mom?
Corey has lived in China for more than 10 years and still misses her families far away in Indonesia. China and Indonesia, no matter how far or near, are always in her heart. At 6 o'clock every morning, Jiang Shouping and Jiang Peichun, a couple who run a vegetable business in the wet market, start their busy day. They are running this small business from dawn to dusk to support the whole family.
There is no way for you to do anything else here anyway. I'm happy that my 2 sons have grown up and it won't be so difficult for me anymore.
The place where they live is Wen County, Gansu Province, China, which is located in the Qinling and Daba Mountains, bordering Sichuan and Shanxi provinces. They never expected that a faraway country named Indonesia would become an unforgettable memory in their lives.
We never really knew much about Indonesia and had zero connection with that country.
The couple lived peacefully in this town, surrounded by mountains, until they were caught off guard by a sudden natural disaster. The Guangxi earthquake in Sichuan that happened on May 12, 2008, affected most of China, and one county where they live was also severely affected.
That moment, it feels like yesterday.
There were 3 people when the earthquake happened. Walls fell down and crashed.
The 3 were sitting together, eating noodles, a local snack.
There were 2 women, 1 man. The wall fell down and hit the woman. Her face was all dusty and I was frightened. The moment I went to pull her out, a big stone fell off and smashed my legs. I couldn't walk.
Chang Pei-chun was sent to a local health center for treatment.
There were so many patients at that time, I just got some medicine packs. But the next day, her leg got worse. On the 3rd day, the swelling got bigger and it turned into congestion.
My leg injury was very serious and we had to go to Wen County. I was told that there were experts from Indonesia in Wen County.
At that time, a medical team of 20 professional doctors from Indonesia was stationed in one county to treat people in the stricken area. Chang Pei-chun remembers Henry, the Indonesian doctor who examined her injury.
What I remembered the most is that the doctor kept telling me not to be afraid and that it wouldn't hurt. That's all he said.
They even skipped lunch. I knew. The operation took 2 hours.
Chang Pei-chun has undergone 3 major surgeries, and she has been worried about the possibility of amputation.
When it was time for the next surgery and I was on the operating table, he opened the dressing. He said that my leg was recovering very well and hopes were high for a full recovery.
Chang Pei-chun's home is full of relatives and friends today. Her youngest son just received the university admission notice, and everyone comes to celebrate. The couple's joy comes from the bottom of their hearts. The disaster 15 years ago has not left a shadow on today's life.
Dr. Henry, thank you so much. You are my savior. If it wasn't because of you, my leg might not have been saved. Thank you.
The doctor said that if she was infected for a few more days, she might end up with an amputation.
A friend in need is a friend indeed. The Indonesian medical team treated 260 inpatients and performed 7 operations in one county, Gansu province. The local people were full of gratitude towards these foreign doctors.
There were many doctors, nurses, and patients like us. When we sent the medical team off, everyone is very sad. They were crying, sobbing, and all. It was not easy to send them off.
Marzuki is a tailor who lives in Aceh, Indonesia, adjacent to the Indian Ocean. It is several thousand kilometers away from one county in Gansu province, China. But he and the Chang family have similar experiences. In 2004, a tsunami caused by a magnitude 9 earthquake shocked the world.
It's really sad to talk about this disaster. I can talk about it for a whole day. It is not only traumatic, but also unforgettable.
The Tsunami Museum in downtown Banda Aceh preserves this tragic history. Nearly 20 years has passed since the disaster, but it still haunts Marzuki.
As you can see in this photo, hundreds of thousands of houses and hundreds of buildings were destroyed in Aceh.
Marzuki had a family of 4, with the youngest child being only 15 months old. On an ordinary morning, disaster struck.
We lived in a shop house, and I didn't know where to go when the earthquake happened. I panicked and thought the shop house was going to collapse. In the end, I jumped from the second floor. My leg was broken and I couldn't walk.
After the strong earthquake, huge waves of 30 meters high rushed into villages and cities, engulfing everything.
I stood there and told my wife, "Run as fast as you can and take the kids with you." My wife asked, "Where to run to?" I said, "No matter where, just keep running."
Marzuki climbed up a tree, and his wife and children gripped on the sofa.
I seemed to hear my kids crying. In a taller building, not far from me, I think. "Dad!" He kept crying. "Dad!"
Everything happened so fast. Marzuki was surrounded by a vast ocean, and the water receded, leaving only a great mess behind. Fortunately, Marzuki's family was all safe, but they lost all of their life savings. There is always an endless flow of people in the Tsunami Museum. People who have never experienced this disaster are shocked by what they see. Many people who witnessed it are also here to recall their relatives and friends who were lost in this catastrophe. This is an unprecedented disaster in Indonesian history, and it is a deep scar in the hearts of the people of Aceh. Marzuki goes to pick up his children from school after knocking off every day. He is now the father of 7 children. This is Marzuki's home, where everything starts anew after the disaster.
The construction of this house began in 2006 and was funded by donations from the Chinese government and Chinese people also. So eventually, we got the keys to this house in around 2007 by lot.
The Chinese government has built more than 600 houses for the villagers affected by the tsunami. Every family in the China-Indonesia Friendship Village was once hit hard by the disaster. They moved out from the resettlement site for the victims and now have their own house to restart their lives.
When I was allocated a house, it was my last move. Now it's nice for me not to have to move around. From then until now, we have been living in the China-Indonesia Friendship Village.
Madinur is the head of Aceh Energy and Mineral Resources Service. He is also a survivor of the tsunami, and he participated in disaster relief and reconstruction works.
We, the Indonesian people, especially the people of Aceh, are very grateful for the assistance from China and other countries. This means a lot to the people of Aceh, specifically those who do not have a home anymore, and to the victims of disaster. We have a place to settle down, and we feel very blessed and happy.
The China-Indonesia Friendship Village also has schools, mosques, and other facilities. With a stable place to settle down, Marzuki's family has grown, and he can return to his old business.
Speaking of happiness, of course we are happy now. We can support and provide for ourselves. Although we don't make much, it is enough for us to feed our family.
Aceh has gradually emerged from the pain and restored its former prosperity. Aceh and China have a profound history of exchanges. Back then, Zheng He's fleet came from Maluku Islands in eastern Indonesia, followed the coastline to Aceh in the west, and then embarked on a new journey. This big bell was a gift from Zheng He to the king of Aceh.
I hope that Indonesia and China will cooperate in friendly ways, help each other, and maintain peace and friendship no matter what happens.
In 2008, a severe earthquake happened in Wenchuan of China. When the news came, the villagers of the China-Indonesia Friendship Village spontaneously donated money. At that time, the whole village raised a total of more than 70,000 renminbi, which was delivered to the Chinese earthquake victims via the Chinese embassy in Indonesia.
We were deeply saddened by the disaster in China and wanted to help. Because we had the same experience, we unanimously decided to work together as villagers in Friendship Village to raise funds for disaster relief.
Only those who have experienced disasters will cherish life more and understand that the help they receive in times of crisis is extremely precious.
When I sing this song, I think of Dr. Henry coming here to perform surgery on us.
In the 21st century, the ocean has once again become a point of convergence for the win-win collaboration. From new energy vehicles, Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway, to internet e-commerce, the road of cooperation is becoming wider and wider, learning from each other and helping each other on the road to happiness. Even if we have never met, in weal and woe, our friendship lasts. A bosom friend afar brings distant lands near, no matter the mountains and seas that lay between. The Maritime Silk Road with thousands of ships setting sail across time and space, intertwining one another. People from two different countries, brought together by the sea, have embarked on a new voyage.